6-2 game. Guys have chance after chance. You're in the offensive zone a lot. You were creating.
Yeah, I mean that's a game where yeah, it was an exciting game. We generated a lot of chances. We generated more than you'd think we'd need, and Biddington was very, very good in that, and that was a big part of it. But I was real happy with our guys' effort. I was happy with our guys' execution for the most part to create chances, as you mentioned. And it's one of those games that you lose and you actually feel bad for your guys. They were dialed in and they put forth a great effort. And you're disappointed that they didn't get rewarded more for the effort and some of the execution. And it happens. It's life sometimes. And I was in the end. You walk in the locker room and you know you have a group of guys that are just pissed off they didn't win, and that feels good as a coach. They don't feel like they were overwhelmed. They don't feel like, they just feel like, they could take charge, and I like that.
It was another night of first for Owen, whether it's first NHL point. Defending a guy like Tarasenko isn't easy. What's it like from your perspective to see him go through this?
Yeah,
tough challenge, and tonight was a different one.
Yeah, and there was plenty of moments that were challenging to him, but that's what he needs. He figures things out really fast. So what we've talked about, size, speed, skill, it's tough to gauge because you haven't played at this level yet. But he's adjusting rapidly. He's got skill, he's got talent, he's got intelligence, and I was happy with it. And on the flip side, I think that Dolls and Yokoharu have really, really, and the entire team has welcomed him in. I know it's important for coaches to create an environment that the players can feel comfortable in, to be aggressive, assertive, to be themselves, and not fear making a mistake. And we try to create that as coaches. But what I'm really happy with watching is the support the teammates have for Owen in that initiative. They want to see him be successful. I loved when he got his first assist, how excited the bench was, how excited the guys on the ice were, guys going to get a puck for him out of the net, other guys hopping out for the next line change, going directly to him. Really, really special moment for us as coaches to see how fast and how much our guys care to help him get acclimated here, and how they are working to make him feel welcomed.
Did he seem more comfortable tonight, just offensively, maybe moving around?
Yeah, I think he did. He did. He was sniffing out opportunity offensively without giving much defensively, and that's what we want. We want all our D that way. So Yokoharu, I thought, was great in that area. Butcher hasn't played in a while, and he was in. He was great in that area, and obviously Dolls is always effective in that area. But yes, I loved his balance and reads of how to maybe jump to offensive opportunity and surfing for a little bit of offensive opportunity, and then still staying responsible defensively.
Why did you put Owen with Henry and Rasmus? I don't know if it was 50-50. But
yeah, much philosophy much the same. These guys all have to integrate with each other. So we don't want anybody too dependent on one. We're a team, and the more these guys can. And you can see they're no problem. They don't bat an eyelash at it. We can change lines, tweak lines, and our guys now just feel like, oh, this guy, I'm familiar with him, and comfortable with him, and excited even. So, yeah, that would be it's going to happen. He's going to move around. We also want to see our guys left shots on the right side, and like I mentioned this morning, we have a lot of left shot defensemen that are actually approaching us to want to play on the right side, and they're jumping in drills and practice on the right side. So, we've got a pretty engaged group right now.
I'm sure Owen hasn't seen too many players as nifty as Tarasenko in his life. It's only his second game. Do you even go to? He's 19. Second game. Do you say, hey, don't worry about that? It happens.
Yeah, he knows how I feel about that. I'm not worried about that. We need him in those situations. He didn't happen a second time. And it might not happen a second time in his career. And that's the type of player he is. He will learn from it, and we can get him in these situations. And I say that not about Owen, but I said that about many NHL players. When you're capable, you get in that situation, you learn from it, and you can usually shut it down. And our 5-on-3 penalty kill, we haven't had many 5-on-3 penalty kill, but there's a couple things that I think that was our second one maybe this year, and there was just a subtle mistake, and it was another player, and they will fix it, and it probably won't happen again, knowing that guy that I'm speaking of. So yes, they're young, and we know, again, out of that game, we know we got better tonight, despite the score.
I just need to know, being his second game, if he needs to have his mind eased a little bit, or not really.
Yeah, I think the support around him, I think the culture we have supports guys through that stuff. Let's face it, there's hundreds of goals against in the National Hockey League every year. We're not going to be a team to sit and dwell on every goal against, and I think you got to move on. And there are things that you can take from that. That means you don't move on without learning from it and taking something constructive from a mistake. So we go over goals, we go over mistakes, but there's a silver lining in there that you can learn from it. It's going to make you better. And Owen knows that. He knows our approach, and he knows that's why we're putting him in those situations against top players. And we had no problem putting him back out against Tarasenko, and he was great the rest of the game against him.
Tage went up to Owen and kind of drew up the play that led to his first assist. Does that speak to the support you're talking about?
Yeah, support and belief. They believe in his ability. They believe in his skill, and you can easily see that. You can hear it on the bench. They're excited when he makes a play, when he has a puck. And again, that's a credit to the camaraderie and the selflessness that we have in that locker room. Fun to watch as a coach, and coaches, because we have this group has grabbed our attention and respect in that regard as a coaching staff. They're tight knit. They're brothers. They really have a lot of characteristics of caring for each other.
Owen also led the team with 3 takeaways tonight. He seems very comfortable on the penalty kill already. What do you see?
Yeah, he is. He's comfortable everywhere, and he's intelligent. So, the conversations that he had with us and with Marty Wilford, who runs our D, even after slight errors, he's coming back and discussing it with Marty, and he can self-assess. And there are a couple things that upset him. I mentioned after the Toronto game, I asked him in the hallway walking down to the press after the game, and I asked him, what do you think of his game? And his self-evaluation was right on. And it's that way shift to shift. So again, I've used the term a lot about calibrating. What he really needs to do is calibrate to the league. He has enough ability, athleticism, and even going through a few of our practices, as he gets more practice, he's going to get more acclimated to the pace of how things go, because you've got no way to do that until you get to this level. So yes, he's to that. These games are going to help him. Every game, every shift helps him. Every situation helps him. So I'm very happy with that.